So, this box has just arrived. What's in the box? I don't know. Well, I do actually, and so do you, because otherwise you wouldn't have clicked on this video link. But I'm excited. Let's get it open. My new camping mat. Toasty. What we have here is the new Exped WinterLite SynMat, and as you can see from here, it weighs 530 grams, packs down this big, and is supposed to keep me warm down to minus 17 degrees Celsius, or 1 degree Fahrenheit if you're American. The reason I've bought this is because I'm getting a little bit older now, and my current Thermarest isn't keeping me as warm, and I have heard excellent reviews about these. Do you know what? I can't get it open without destroying the packaging. Oh, here we go. I was going to say, how do you open this without destroying it? But we're getting there. So here it is, the SynMat WinterLite, lovely and small. This is a fraction of the size of my Thermarest. This is the Thermarest I've been using. It is a Thermarest Prolite 4, and it has been absolutely lovely, and it has served me really well for years and years and years and years. And I'll still probably use this from time to time, but I have found that I'm not as warm as I'd like to be on the odd occasion when it's out snowing and icy and very, very cold. And I quite fancy a little bit more comfort. But let me get this wrapped up and I'll show you how well it compares. So here they are, wrapped up side by side. When I was wrapping up the Thermarest, I actually thought it was going to be a little bit shorter in pack size than the Exped, but in fact it isn't. It's very, very slightly longer, by about 2 centimeters. And it certainly feels heavier, but let's just try and find out exactly how much heavier or how much lighter the Exped SynMat WinterLite is. Now bear in mind, this is the medium wide version. I'll focus in on that. This is the medium wide version, which means it should be about 10 centimeters wider, top and bottom, than the Thermarest. Just because I like to roll around a lot when I sleep, and I often sleep on my side, so having that extra little bit of width and flexibility should be good. And one of the reasons why I'm changing from the Thermarest to the thicker SynMat is so that I can sleep on my side a little bit more comfortably. Right, let's find out just how much lighter the SynMat is. So we've got some scales here. 0 those. We'll start with the Thermarest, which weighs in at 808 grams, according to these scales. 808 grams. Now for the SynMat WinterLite, that's showing up as 552, opposed to a packaging weight of 530 grams. Now I have read that the packaging or the mat weight doesn't include the little stuff sack, and inside the stuff sack you also get a very, very handy repair kit. Now I'm hoping I don't ever have to use this, or certainly not have to use it when I'm out and about, but it's nice that Exped packaged that up in a little pocket for you so that you don't end up leaving it at home. Yeah, definitely a weight saving, definitely a saving as far as space is concerned in your pack. I mean, that's going to make a massive difference. That's That's like 2 meals right there in space saving. So that's brilliant. And really, this is not that much bigger than a 1.5 litre bottle of water. This is going to be lovely. So I'll get them blown up and we can have a little better look at them. Something I forgot to mention, which came with the SynMat, was this. This is called the Schnozzle pump sack. Yeah, don't know really why they called it that either, but we might find out when we open it up. And this is just an inflation bag for the SynMat, so that, oh wow, it's huge. The size of this thing. Oh my goodness. It's massive. This is the medium as well. And it's a lot bigger than I expected that to be. But it's really lightweight fabric. That's not really going to take up any space in your pack. And if anything, I could use that to keep my down jacket in, or any additional clothing and things like that in my backpack. So that's actually going to be quite handy, I think. So what you actually do is you fill this full of air and you use dry, clean air to inflate your mat rather than humid air from your lungs, because eventually, if you keep using your own breath to inflate the mat, eventually you're going to end up with condensation build-up, potentially mildew, and you don't really want that, do you? So what I'll do is I'll have a little bit of a race actually. Bearing in mind that I've not inflated this before, I'll lay out the Thermarest and let that self-inflate, and then I'll have a go at inflating the SynMat and see how much longer it takes to fully inflate. Right, there's the Thermarest laid out. I haven't opened up the valve yet on the Thermarest. I'll do that once I've got this laid out. There's the Exped SynMat laid out. And go ahead and just figure out what I'm doing there. Okay, that looks pretty straightforward. I'll just move that forward so that you can see what I'm doing. I'll go ahead and open the valve on the Thermarest. Okay, that valve's open, so that's self-inflating now. And now what I need to do here is fill up this pump sack with air. Seal it up, just like you would with any old dry bag. Open up the inflation valve. It's a two-way valve. Open up the inflation valve, connect the pump sack, and then you simply push the air out of the pump sack and into the mat. Thermarest is almost inflated to a point where I would then just top it up with a couple of puffs of air. You know what, filling this airbag up isn't necessarily the most fun thing in the world, and if you get it twisted, if you get the schnozzle bit twisted, it's like getting a kink in a hose. The water doesn't come out, the air doesn't come out. Look at this. Wow, look at that! Okay, that Thermarest now is fully self-inflated, and what I would do is literally just a couple of puffs of air just to top that up. So yeah, there's a little bit more work involved with with a SynMat, but bear in mind this is my first attempt, and I'll probably be a little bit quicker next time, certainly when I'm used to it. That's about as much as air as I would certainly want in that mat now, so it doesn't really take long at all, does it? Pop that valve off, and here it is. Wow, that is lovely. Ooh. So for size comparison, if you lay the Thermarest over the top, I'm fully zoomed out, but you can see there that I've got a little bit more shoulder width. The taper at the top is a lot more aggressive on the SynMat, but then the new Prolite Plus is a much more profiled shape as well. So similar to the Exped SynMat in its shape at the top, it's more rounded. The new Thermarest, but I've got a lot more space in the shoulders and also in the foot. I've got a little bit more room in the footwell, in the foot area. Just about. The SynMat's just well, they're pretty similar, to be honest. Pretty similar. The SynMat certainly, focus camera, but it looks super comfy. Just look at how thick. Look at how thick that is. And with the R value being what it is, this should be super, super warm all year round in all the conditions I plan to sleep in. I'm not heading over to the Antarctic or the Arctic. I don't need the down mat necessarily. The down mat's actually heavier. The down mat's heavier, more fragile. Granted, it's warmer, but for UK and Alpine use, this will be more than adequate, especially with a good warm down bag. This will see me right all year round. So I'm excited to give this a proper try and a proper demo and let you know what it's like. I'm certainly going to have a lie down on it now. That's super comfy, and if anything, a little bit more air in there than I actually need. So I probably didn't need all that last little pump of air from the schnozzle and the schnozzle pump sack. To deflate the SynMat, really simple. Pop open the valve, and you've got this little deflation pin that you just pop in there, and all the air comes out. Simple as that. Really, really easy. Really easy. So then to get all the air out, you keep that little deflation pin in, fold it over roughly, squeeze the air out, then when you've got the majority of the air out, you lay it out, flip it over. I'm quite particular, and I like to follow the crease lines of the original fold. So you fold it into a third again, and then simply start rolling from the bottom up. And what you're doing there is you're slowly pushing any excess air up out towards the valve. Try and keep your seams nice and flat. and then pop the valve closed. It's as simple and as easy as that. Now I didn't roll this up perhaps as tightly as I should, but let's see how easily it goes back into its sack. Oh yeah, look at that, no problem. I could have got that a lot tighter, but it goes straight into its sack without any hassle, any problems. Sorry, happy days. Look at that, so easy to deflate. I'll show you the Thermarest. Now to deflate the Thermarest, twist open the valve. Now what I like to do is just start from the bottom, roll up. Give it a squeeze, then close off the valve. Spread it back out again. Fold it in half. And then roll back up towards the valve from the bottom. Now you have to get this quite tight. And then as you get towards the end, you'll feel it pillow up with air. And you just push the last of the remaining air out and use your body weight just to squeeze the air out. And then that should then go straight, oh hello dog, you should then go straight back into its sack. Oh boy, it says. But I would certainly say, even on this floor here, which is a lot easier to do this kind of thing than when you're on stony ground or in your tent or your hammock or on a portaledge or on snow. So even on this surface, which is perfect, I would say that the Exped SynMat was actually easier to deflate than the Thermarest. There's just a little bit less pushing of the air out, because obviously with the Thermarest being full of foam, fairly dense foam all the way through, you've got to push that air out continuously. Whereas with the Exped, it was just a case of folding it over roughly, putting my body weight on it, and then just squeezing the last bit of air out at the end. It was a little bit easier, and certainly packed into its stuff stack without any problems whatsoever. So yeah, that's my review so far. I'll let you know how I get on, and I'll give you another review of how I got on with it. But it was so comfy lying on it there, I can't really see this being a problem. Maybe the more aggressive tapered profile shape might be... What are you doing? More aggressive profile shape might be a bit of an issue, but I can't really see that being the case. I reckon it's going to be fine, and I think someone needs a walk.